So Star Galactics is still kind of against me, thinking that I'm wasting resources. Because I said that I don't feel like I need to be perfectly cis passing to be satisfied by my transition. That's somehow saying that somehow that invalidates uh my need for hormones, and that I'm like wasting resources, which I completely disagree with. And I don't think my situation places a more skeptical eye on trans people. I think that's you trying to like draw a line somewhere, and like you're not gonna find a place to cleanly draw that line. I think I think you're being foolish. So I don't lie to doctors. I do not lie to doctors. I'm not trying to garner ass pats. In fact, most people's praise or support or whatever is not as engaging to me as directly talking with people like you, because this is like part of why I'm doing this, is because I create this connection directly with like your group of people who are all kind of like against me. And I think that it's productive for me to engage there, because that's where I kind of feel like the danger is, and that I feel like I can kind of heal everyone and make everyone understand a little bit better. Um, a goal in mind. Like I'm on this journey of life, okay? I'm on this journey of life, and like I have direction in my life, and I have like a trajectory with my life. But we all don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. But I think um I think you're just very disrespectful. You still don't honor my name, and you're trying to use a very innocent comment that I said as justification for denying me hormones, and saying that I'm like, um, yeah, I don't know. Okay, fuck this post. This person's just a bully. Define girl as a young or relatively young woman, adult human female for women. Sex and bear offspring and produce eggs, distinguished biologically. Yeah, okay. So this, obviously I cannot produce offspring in this manner. So I think we both know this. And basically, what I'm saying is, if you take this definition and apply it to transitioning into a girl and use that to define it, so it's like, okay, produces eggs, creates offspring in that way. Well, then by that definition, I'm not transitioning into a girl, but I think we all know that. I think we all understand that girl has different meanings and contexts, and that the definition that you're using is not what I'm transitioning into. Society now sees me as a fucked up freak. Why? So willing to let my body go past the point of with and won't, not passing and slightly passing at the same time. I'm a troon, not a beautiful transgender woman as you see yourself to be. Okay, so what are you trying to create? Like another? You're trying to create like a new group here of like people you see as freaks or something. You don't get to define me. I mean, you can say what you want about me. You can talk shit about me and say what you want about me, but what you're really trying to do is have control by putting me in a box, and I think that's ridiculous. And you say I could have pulled off a Tom girl look without wasting a doctor's time and resources. It's not about. See, you're so focused on looks. Like I already told you, there's like several. There's several like other changes with hormones, and also and the hair removal. I I mean, you could say it's looks, but it's like that's like attached to my face, and it bothers me, and like it's bothered me ever since puberty, and I'm happy I'm able to take care of that, and like I get to do these things for myself, and that's not necessarily trying to get other people's approval. I'm just trying to be satisfied with myself, which I'm becoming more satisfied with myself. So you're saying it's like a waste of resources, and it's not, because it's like helping me. Yeah, I don't mind crying and venting on stream. I think it's honest, and I think sometimes there's a good time to do it. And I think I'm gonna try. I actually think I've learned a lot from the last year. I'm gonna try to drop some of the kind of like entitlement and angst that I had with my viewers when I'm playing Breath of the Wild, and just like let that be not so antagonistic. And I think that I still do get the opportunity to vent when I need to, which is something that I was doing on my IRL stream, which I think is perfectly acceptable. So yeah, I have no regrets about that. And I don't care if that gets low views. I like to have an outlet, and I found it. Streams become the only outlet for human interaction. The internet is my outlet for social interaction. Not necessarily streams, but the internet, basically. And maybe you think that's twisted or fucked up or whatever, but like, I don't know. I've always been just like an internet child. I've always been a digital child, so this is very normal for me. But yeah, sometimes it'd be nice to maybe call my parents or something, or talk to somebody, you know? Okay. The entire goal is not, well, for me, the entire goal is not to pass. I think that you're all hyper focusing on this concept of like looking identical to a cis girl, and it's like there are some aspects about me, such as like certain facial structure, etc., that I guess would make that difficult, because there's some parts of me that are not. There's some like parts of my bone structure, or like my height, for example. Like, I'm not bothered by my height. I'm like 6 feet tall, but like I actually like how tall I am. So there's parts of me that like would be difficult to be cis passing perfectly. Maybe there's like a bunch of surgery that could happen to try to get closer to that, but I think that I don't need to necessarily go through that. That's not really like the focus here. And I've explained all the things that hormones do, and the benefits I've seen with like electrolysis and laser, and pretty much I'm mostly satisfied with like how I am and the progress I've made. And it's like, I don't know, if you want to like get this strict binary gender thing, it's like, that's what I think is going on here. It's like you want me to like strictly be like binary female, and I don't know, sometimes I'm androgynous, sometimes I'm boy-like even, and you know, it's just, it is what it is. Yeah, you don't know. And obviously I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm just speaking from my own perspective so you can understand it better. These people love the word mental gymnastics. Okay, so you're saying I'm eccentric, basically. I'm not a normal person because I'm eccentric, but we're all different. I mean sometimes people are in like kind of groups, and they kind of like relate to each other, but I think that I don't have regrets being me, and I think, I don't know, if you think that just because I come across to you as a unique individual, that gives you all the right to like be assholes to me. I mean, I don't know. It's whatever. This is like what we were talking about before with like free speech and like bullying and shit. The NWC was a wonderful experience for me. I was honored to be there, and it's such a crazy tournament with like the way things are. First, like you get this like teams thing, like your team could let you down, or like it's like 4v4, and like it could just go wrong, and it almost went wrong, but like I succeeded, and like defeating Ego Raptor in the balloon fight, along with four other people. Defeated them all in balloon fight with like a really clutch, like I was really in the moment, like I was like I was like failing for a while, and then like I envisioned what my characters like what my characters like hurt boxes, like like where the hit detection would hit my character. Like I envisioned a box around my character. Like I, instead of looking at the sprite, like I envisioned a box, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna pilot the box around. And there were some close calls, but I clutched it out and got the high score, and then was able to proceed out of the underground to Smash, in which they had Roy unlocked that very day, the first time Roy was ever playable. And I picked Roy, and I still proceeded to the final round, of which I did not succeed, and the very final round is kind of funny, but then Miyamoto came out, got the signed 3DS, and it was mostly just a dream come true, I think. It really was. I also really liked when I teamed up with Trihex and Bananas for the, what is it, Blast Ball or whatever. Like, I knew I could play like a really good goalie, and I did. And I don't know, it was just a really good time. It was fun. And it was a great honor to be invited by Nintendo. So, I mean, I think what it did is it boosted my ego. I mean, I was really honored and happy to have fought my way through such like a random tournament, and also like some of the things that I did with like Balloon Fight and Smash, and then top 2 getting the signed 3DS, and I was in the top 2. I was hugely honored. It was such an honor, and I would love it if someday I could do something like that again with Nintendo. Cause, well, like if I don't know, they're doing the Smash Invitational soon. It's gonna be exciting. Anyway, like what's wrong with streaming 90s anime? Like Berserk is excellent. It's actually my favorite anime. It's really awesome, and like I don't mind crying or sleeping or whatever. Like I don't know, I'm just being me, you know. I'm just like being me, and I'm not like ashamed of it. And running Breath of the Wild, it is a like I'm undergoing this like monumental project with Breath of the Wild. It's like pretty monumental. So I'm working on it. I just got my Joy-Cons back, so I'm gonna keep working on it. And I'm working towards the point of being able to do runs, and once I get to that point, it'll be awesome. But like, it's certainly a lot of practice and a lot of like fine-tuning the routes and stuff. So you can say that's an excuse, but that's just kind of the reality. Like that's just the reality. So it's not an excuse. It's just how it is. And like, I'm sorry you don't understand speedrunning, but it is what it is. See, like, I don't mind trying to learn about things. Like, I think the nature of reality is incredibly fascinating, and like, I don't regret looking into stuff like quantum physics. I think it's a very natural thing to do. It's like you wonder like how the world works, like how the universe works, and it's fascinating and it's interesting and it makes you really wonder. And I think that's a completely worthwhile pursuit. Even if I'm just trying to learn a little, like, I think that's completely worthwhile. And yeah, like, I want to pretty much do my stuff online. I want to do my stuff online. I want to create, and I want to work on my speedrunning, and I want to, like, play Smash when it comes out and work on that, and just do miscellaneous creative projects and whatever. And like, I'll just try to find my footing as I go, but But yeah, like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like, don't try to tell me what to do. It's like you're trying to vie for control over me, but this is my life. It's not your life. See, I would like to get to a point where, yeah, see, like, I would like to get to a point where this is not a focus, because like it shouldn't matter so much to you all, and it's just who I am. But like if we're talking, like, for example, like, okay, here's a good example. Like if we're talking about something, like, I don't need to like bring gender into it, but it seems like what you want to talk about is gender. So it's like I feel like I'm just kind of like defending my life to all these people who think that I'm like a fuck up or like a freak, and I don't mind doing that, but yes, it'd be nice to kind of move past it. And like I've actually had a personal struggle with like with the way that I sound, like my voice. Like I've had a personal struggle with it. So sometimes when I would talk and I wasn't completely invigorated by the conversation, as I kind of am now, because I feel like I'm actually doing good work here with this response. So like I feel kind of good about um I just like being able to lose myself in what I'm talking about, instead of like being insecure about how other people see me, which is sometimes the case and can be the case frequently. Um, so, so yeah, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, yeah. No, like if random praise from people is not defining who I am. That is disconnected. Well, I think there is a kind of harmful, like, the people in this forum kind of play off of each other and try to reinforce each other's beliefs, which are kind of bigoted. So I do see that as actively harmful, and that's part of why I'm making response videos, but also to just get you to understand me better. Which I think once there's a dialogue, it kind of humanizes everybody. Like I'm no longer the symbol of something bad to you, and you're no longer like hateful Annans. Instead, we get to have like a conversation, and it's actually, I really feel like it's healing. It's a healing thing to do. Like, okay, if there's okay, look, this isn't about laws about like wrong think, okay? This is about uh like diminishing people's bigotry. Like genuinely diminishing it, so that it's not just they don't say it, but it's they don't believe it, and they understand that it's wrong to be bigoted. I am authentic. I am living my life. This is me. I am strictly and firmly Narcissa, right? And there are moments where I'm more confident, and there's moments where I'm less confident, but I'm pretty firmly like me, and Reliance on external validation. I'm trying to find an internal validation, which I have some of, but also I feel like I haven't found footing on. Like I feel like I'm. Oh, there's some analogy I had a while ago. It's not like I want what you call ass pats, like constantly. I want to be able to like actively do and feel good about what I do. And that's like, yeah, I don't know, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm able to be myself with with just posting videos and like not being anonymous. But I guess to each their own. Regarding zeldaspeedruns.com. So I started the site in 2000, I think 9. And it grew enormously, and like different people kind of were in charge, and it was just kind of chugging along. And then it felt like it kind of changed direction, and I felt like there's a kind of control that they wanted to have over the leaderboards with like Breath of the Wild and other games too, apparently, from other people's complaints. But it just seemed absurd to me that like me as the like creator of the site, the founder of the site, it felt like I was being excluded from like being able to like they're like controlling like the rules of how to speedrun the game, and like I disagree with the rules, but like they just kind of remove me from like when the Breath of the Wild Discord started up, they removed me as a staff member from the Discord after I brought up my complaints that another staff member was being like very controlling about how rules should be, and basically speedrunning just finds itself in this awkward place where there is kind of this hierarchy thing where people are trying to control the metagame and control what metagame people play and stuff. And I'm a free thinker, and so when Breath of the Wild came out, I just looked at the game and asked myself, well, how do I want to run this? And what I wanted to do is to run it with all the main quests of the game, which are cleanly defined, and I wanted to run on Master Mode. But also, we're in the age of constant patches, so I just wanted to keep my stuff up to date, and yeah, basically I created a metagame. I created a metagame, and I was like, this is how I want to run it. And in today's speedrunning realm, it feels like that's not what people really get to do, because there's all these like kind of controlling forces, and they're trying to like corral people into doing things in a certain way that are actually, in my honest view, after all these years of speedrunning, I have to disagree with the way they do it. Another thing they did too is that they combined Wii U and Switch, which is pretty absurd. But I mean, I guess this is what I reap what I sow or whatever, because I did the IQ runs, right? So that was controversial, and now I guess there's this kind of mindset of combining different consoles together, even when there's loading differences, lag differences, and those lag differences manifest in different ways with stasis launches. Even now there's just like a new lag frame stasis launch thing that doubles your distance, which that is a pretty powerful technique, but it's based on lag frames, and again, that differs from console to console. Not to mention there's differences with like the Wii U's controller ergonomics, and yeah. Anyway, I feel like I'm trying to justify something to you, but I don't really need to, because I just want to run a game a certain way. And another thing that Zelda speedruns was going on with Zelda speedruns, so they were like, moving into this charity marathon thing where it's just like there's a group of people. Like, you can call me an asshole. Like, you can just call me an asshole, okay? Call me, what do you call me? You're calling me evil. Fine, just call me evil. I'm the villain of speedrunning. I took my domain back because I didn't like the way things were. So just call me evil. I'm evil. I'm glad we settled that. I'm evil. Okay, great.